Jason, yeah. Okay, but we have to see something first. I was just showing Logan. Um, did I get the right side? Is this maybe an angle? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We might have to switch because I'll have to go see the Jacob. But I've got to get Rumble going for us. Welcome, everybody. So what you do then is, look, you got to switch over here. They probably need the mic over here. That's probably better, too. Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, now I need to switch over to Rumble and see right here. All right, so we're connected. See how it says connected to RTMP stream now? Right. But you still got to go over here and start stream. I forgot to do that on episode 12. That was going to be my first. Okay, so waiting for an encoded server, and there you go. It thankfully used the thumbnail this time. Yesterday I went without the thumbnail. So all should be good on Rumble. All right, now look over here. We close this down. Okay, now that we know our mic's working, that's the only real reason to keep that up. And then echo cancellation, right? So that's for if I've got some audio coming from this thing. So if I'm not using headphones mostly, if any of my guests aren't or whatever, you handle that. But we're going to use headphones because the only thing we got to listen to is us. We're talking. The other people, they can't talk. They can only type. It's like a really beautiful kind of setup when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, there is in Riverside. Let me show you here now, man. So you just go right over here to chat. Look. Okay. Now, we can do studio, so anybody that's here with us, we could like keep it secret. And then we go to public chat. And then what I'll usually do too is I'll check all the streams and make sure everything's up and running. So there we go. We got X up and running. And that's it. Okay. And then we take off and we start introducing what we're doing. Oh, we forgot. You need a flame. There we go. We had to switch the studio around just a little bit because as you can see, everybody, we've got Logan. Look, there we go. And you get your notification on Rumble, so now you know all is welcome there. What's up, Sarah? What's up, Tammy? And look, check out what we can do with the folks that want to talk to us. We can get the water out of the way. All right, see, we can highlight them, bring them down. Tammy in the house. Tammy, New York. Tammy, listen, I'll have to show you her stuff online. Find Tammy. Of course, find Sarah at Universe Unveiled. I'm going to plug you in a minute. I think we're going to look at your preview a little bit, Sarah. But Tammy lives up in New York, and she goes and checks out Big Rocks, too. So we're going to look at some big rocks, I think here, because it's one of our videos that you're in with me. It was when we were up on Lookout Mountain. Yeah, okay. So Logan and I went to Corn Creek today, and we got out a little bit, yeah, and took Jacob. So what was that? See, usually now, look, here's your timer, okay? All right, so I'm going to teach you producing, and then what we can do is, I can send you a producer tab, and you can sit here and do this kind of shit, but you don't even have to, be seen, you know what I mean? Okay, you got a timer up here, right? I usually try to spend the first 10 or 15 minutes. Oh, thank you, Tammy, for all the support. And thank you, Sarah, and Jacqueline, who's I'm sure is around somewhere. Because, I use my low inside voice because Jacqueline. That's what happens when somebody gives you positive, reinforcement instead of, criticism. She told me, she was like, bro, where was your show last week? And I was like, what you talking about? She's like, it's like when I come home from work and I'm trying to wind down, there's your show and there's nature and there's you just all chill and talking. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a good thing. So I better keep the chill talking, But the first where I'm going is the first 15 minutes. I always leave open for some energy and maybe some fucking around and, Yeah, okay. But you see your timer, right? Okay. He's getting there, folks. He's getting there. So a lot of you have seen Logan in videos of mine really for over the years now. I'd say, man, it's been quite a while, right? But what? It's been what?
It's been 6, hasn't it?
I feel like a reporter, man, for a reporter 50s, Logan, tell us, how long has it been? Be honest.
I would have to do the math, but I think it's been closer to 6, maybe a penny more.
Yeah, it's been a while. What are we? We're in 2027 now, aren't we? And when did the world start? COVID was 2019, 2020, and 2019. The girl's mother and I split is into 2018. Yes, so yeah, it's been a while anyway. But no, that's how I feel. It wasn't like the question wasn't that serious, but like hold that in your mouth. But it's true. This microphone it's a little overpowered. Oh, pull that shut. Can you? Yeah. I've got somebody here to help. It's wild. No, just the flap. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, push the chair. We had to do some rearranging. There you go. That's fine. It's just my field of vision. It keeps it blockaded, right? And but you've never had a chance to just chat with Logan, and to have Logan maybe just chat with you. We'll see how talkative he decides to get. I've got him a cup of honey tea. So, drink up, get caffeinated. Cheers. Episode 14 of Finding Things Within and Without. A series, I don't know. What we're going to do here is we'll probably pull up Rumble, because my old Rumble, I've got a lot of early videos of you and I. But then on YouTube, big rock fans, we've got some Hatchet Creek and Lookout Mountain videos on YouTube of you and I. So I thought we'd just, say hey to everybody and then start taking a look at some stuff you and I are in and see where the conversation goes.
Yeah.
You can tell it's going to go far, can't you? It's just going to travel. I'm just going to have to take this conversation and pick it up and put it on my shoulder and go, come on, we're going somewhere, right? Is that how we're going to do it? Or I'm just going to hand you the mic. See, now it probably sounds like I'm way over here, and you're going to have to just tell these people something. Like tell them, I don't know, tell them something about what kind of fire do you like? What do you like about looking into a fire? Like when you're by the creek and you're looking into a fire, like, just what do you like about it? And you gotta, like, seriously, I know you don't believe me, but I've had so many old men tell me I have to eat the mic. What? Another bow? All right, you're gonna have to explain this. Sorry, folks, this is something. This is inside info. Yeah, okay. Hit me up on Discord. Tammy was referring to her big rocks. She says they're chamber walls and possibly Viking and Celtic rocks. So Viking and Celtic, call them buildings, call them, whatever. I know there's cairns, right? There's different names for them. But that they'd come over from Europe here to North America. And she's in, like, upstate New York. So that's part of what one of the things I do on one of my shows is, like, ancient history and the narrative and how history is about as trustworthy as journalism, because that's basically what it is, kind of my slogan, truth of our past. No, what is it? Our best future requires the truth of our past. But now back to you answering a question. So it's just me asking you, right? And we got folks here that obviously would be truly interested to know, because, anybody that's watched me for a while has seen what all you and I have, done together, and you've seen, so much of what I've really showed nobody but myself and then whoever watches anything. So seriously, like, just name me one thing. Like, imagine we're in fucking high school and they're passing around, it's a new teacher, and they're passing around the whole little, tell me about yourself, get to know me list. And the teacher hands out some gay ass thing about, all their interests and, what their, what their husband does for a hobby, right? And, but they're expecting you to then parlay some information back to them about yourself, so they can just sort of, get a quick grasp on the student at hand, right? And you have all these questions like, what's your favorite color, and all that. So it's like that level of thought should go into it. Logan and I, this is a theme today about overthinking. It's not intentional, but this is a recurring theme. So it's just, we're going to start over again. Okay, ready? All right, take two. We're live, man. Doesn't work. Okay. Take two, and I'm just going to go, okay, so when you're by the creek and like you light a fire, or wherever, when you're at home, and you go out back and you light a fire, like, what is one of the things, on any level whatsoever, that you like about sitting around a fire, and particularly sort of looking at the fire or into the fire?
Um,
Start my timer. I'm going to teach you. Just remember a time, right?
mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Remember a time when you were enjoying fire, maybe even one by yourself, perhaps. So that's where your thoughts center, right? And then, obviously, it helps if it's a positive time. You know, that does help. But even a negative, who knows? We've got a pretty crazy audience out here. So, it's just like, moi. Anything. And I'm done guiding you. Just tell me, what do you like about it? You're always making fires and sitting around it. What's one thing you like about it?
Um, that is fire.
Where does your brain go when I turn this thing
I
on?
don't
I mean,
know.
we could spend the show just working through it. All right, we're gonna leave him alone. He's gonna get there, because we have these wonderfully deep, profound conversations, and then I think something just happens when I press go on the camera. Laugh, you right there, like giggle, man, laugh. They don't fucking care. You should see these freaks that are watching us. Like really, yeah. And there's only like 3 of them. Look, you've got Tammy. All right, so she's going to help us out. When I'm in nature, I feel connected to my higher. Higher could be self, could be power, right? to does that? Me too, Tammy. Me too. See, that's how you do that. All right.
Yeah.
Me too, Tammy.
Yeah.
No, you got to say me too, Tammy. I'm gonna have to guide you at this point.
Me too, Tammy.
Brilliant. And get the voice a little deeper, okay? A little deeper. You might even need to remove the glasses so you can sort of make eye contact with yourself and pretend like we're the audience. You see how that works? Yeah, 'cause see, now you're all like, man, look at you taking a pose. You don't ever sit like that in real life. I didn't know this was going to be a teaching show. But now remember, we've got 15 minutes that we always sort of eat up having fun. And so, see, we're totally there. But that means you got 3 minutes to figure out how to find your tonsils and talk. You need some water? Drink a little more tea? All right, I'm going to leave you alone now. And when I come back to you, you're going to sit there until like something funny comes up, okay? And I don't care if it's a video. I don't care if it's this YouTube. I don't care if it's a joke. When something funny comes up, you're going to interrupt me because I'm going to kind of carry forward here now because folks are watching. But when something funny occurs, you're going to interrupt me, okay? And that's how will guide you into sort of taking some sort of an active role, because I need help, man. I got to get you like comfortable with this whole setup. I don't care if you just sit here and like look at all the technical shit and like figure out how to operate it. Like we could swap seats and you could sit here and do this. Tammy continued her thought. Makes me want to be a better person. See? That'll give you something to focus on. You want to do that? You want to swap chairs? Huh? I mean, I'm just trying to help you, dude. Okay. You want to look at, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Lookout Mountain? All right. Now imagine, forget these guys. I mean, only for a second. Okay, forget these guys. Now, imagine places we've been in these videos, right? If it were just you and I sitting here. If I was like, Logan, you got to sit here for an hour and we're going to do this, okay? And we were going to watch these videos. Which would you most like to, hey, I want to go back there, I want to transport myself there. I want to watch that video and talk about it for a second or just remember it, So would you go like there's Hatchet Creek, there's Oh, or would you like some of the videos where you and I actually do record conversations on these matters? Okay, you got to grab your headphones. Okay, so you gotta get one, and I gotta get one. All right, everybody, let's look at some. Let's look at big rocks first, man. You want to show them big rocks for a second? Okay, let me show you how to operate this jazz. All right. All right, so the videos we're going to pull up, let's see. We're going to start with YouTube. So YouTube, I have a tab on. We just go here, right? And we're going to pull up my page. And then let's scroll down here and look at the ones with you and I, because everybody likes a little beautiful scenery. Look, just 2 weeks ago in episode 12, I watched a whole video with you and I here and talked about it. You know? Uh-huh. Okay. So look, we could go all the way back. Now, just remember, we've got Hatchet Creek where you and I were climbing up and down and around. And on Rumble, I've got some older Hatchet Creeks. But here in this one, we've got, you remember when you and I were down by the Little River up on Lookout Mountain, and we were just taking that long hike, and you like fell over, and then you came back and you're like, hey, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got that. We could warm everybody up here for 10 minutes and look at some pretty stuff. Okay, so then what you do in that case is you just get it here, right, and you pause it. And usually I'll kind of try to bring it large. And then you come back over here and you grab share, right? And then look, right there, share screen. Okay. All right, everybody, we're going to look at the West Fork of the Little River and see if we can get some conversation flowing out of Logan. And then, now here's the thing, man. Once you press go over here, right? All right, you got to keep this sucker here, and then you got to pop back over here and manage your layout. So, for instance, they can't see us right now, which I'm sure is probably, fine for them. But for us, I usually rock with that, right? Okay. But you've got other options. Like that's, oh, I cut you out. Logan's like, finally, I can pick my nose. Okay, so here we are. Now, if we need to get the other one back around, which is here, there. Now, we control here. I know it's complicated for you because you really want to watch. And then we get the volume going, right? And so then this is you and I. You remember the big piles of rocks up in North Alabama? Let me get your mind where we are, and then we'll fast forward some.
Let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Oh, these holes.
Oh, bro. You should take them up there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, and you see all of the quartz. Now this is a pile.
While this is playing,
and here you'll remember the divot from our last video.
Ready to rock and roll and
metal
conversation while we give them something cool to look at. All right, so what I'm going to do, guys, because I know I've showcased so much all the big rocks and all the crazy stuff like this and the big circle you've seen, but I wanted to showcase, and I'm pretty sure it knows this trip, just a little bit of the walk Logan and I took once we got free of all the cool giant rocks and stuff I'm showing here in the beginning. And I think it's got that bit, dude, where you were falling over and you're like, did you get that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, somewhere through here, I think. No, that's when we got to the waterfall. Yeah, through there. All right, so we're just going to let some scenery play, and I'm going to pull up Rumble.
I think it's time for a shower. Man, look at these walls. Hey, Logan, what'd you say when I told you we were going to the bottom of the waterfall? Oh. All right, so this video is just to bring you along with us for a moment and showcase the natural beauty of this place, not just the giant scatterings of rocks. Clearly marked trail, even if you can't really see a trail. Metal. Logan falling.
There it is.
Good protect, bro.
It's priceless.
I saw a bush.
Yeah.
You actually got a
Bring
compliment,
these
I think,
folks
in the
along with
comments.
us, and you go showing off and trip. I saw a bush, so I kind of jumped for it. He saw a bush, so
Well,
we
it was
kind of
beautiful.
jumped for it.
Let's take a look. As you said there, it was a jump for it. It was really quite impressive.
With us, and you go showing off and trip. I saw a bush, so I kind of jumped for it. He saw scatterings of rocks.
Going to no, it's the next one.
Clearly marked trail, even if you can't really see a trail.
Someone in the
Metal.
comments said, "Excellent job because of this twist."
Logan
he picked
falling.
his place right instead of breaking his ankle. You know,
Good
There you go.
protect, bro.
go to the soft place, get off the rock.
That was your thought, right? That was
Yes.
beautiful move. So
Trying to bring these folks along with us, and you go showing off and trip. I saw a bush, so I kind of jumped for it. He saw a bush, so he
Rubble
kind
of
of
an
jumped for it.
antediluvian civilization. So, what was running through your mind at that precise moment when you performed that what could only be considered professional move?
I mean, there seemed to be a pile of sticks and half of a tree on the ground beside me. So instead of landing on rocks, I chose breakable wood. And yeah,
To the point. Nothing but pure logic and protection, self-preservation at work there, and you could see it happen with absolutely no forethought necessary, other than perhaps a fifth of a second.
yeah.
Do you have any more words to say at folks at home who've all gathered here today just to witness this fine athletic achievement?
I don't know.
You lying fucker, you.
It's a rock.
Logan's sometimes he says don't know, but you always do know, and that's what's like just so astounding to me over here about this camera trick that happens with you, where you just start not knowing things.
You know,
Yeah, there's a shit ton of those.
I landed on a branch, so I think I'm better than I could have.
Dude, look at the wall. Can you see this? 70, 80
Let's
foot
check our
wall.
chat.
You want to climb it?
Yeah. You can't even manage this.
Oh look, Christine. You know Christine
I
from a
think I
couple of
ran in.
discords and
Isn't
whatnot.
this so cool though, man?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank
The
you,
way
Tammy.
it's
That
kept,
is.
but not too
amazing.
kept. Raging water.
Oh look here. Tammy has this is for you. See? It's easy,
Yo.
man.
Yeah, on the way back. We'll do all our inspecting on the way
Look,
back.
you're so tiny. I mean, like you're not even in this, but you're actually in the movie. You know,
More
So,
metal, lot
already a movie
more
star.
metal. Look. It's in the seams too.
You remember this? Be thinking about that day. I mean, if nothing else, you know. Think about what you liked about it. What's different about up there versus down here?
Melting patterns.
Just think about it. You're doing great, man. Here, hold on.
I mean, it's precisely like walking in the jungle and stumbling across some ruins. That's exactly the feeling of the place. Quite a few do, right up on top of the ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. We've been a couple of times, right? Or just was it the day trip?
It was the day trip.
Okay. Yeah. We didn't go once when it was cold
All
weather.
right, guys.
Yeah, we did.
That's
right?
your look at the
And we went
trail
back for-
to
yeah.
DeSoto Falls,
Yeah.
because it looks like we're about to encounter flooding. So I'm going to put the phone up. Yeah, bro, we lose trail and go all water up here.
There's a lot of water that day.
Watch for snakes. Till it's flowing. Oh, here we go. Bingo. We're good. Oh, trailhead marker.
Now,
Back up to the
while
rocks.
that's playing, let's look over here. And let's see what
Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed your look at it.
see you and I. We're here for all of this.
So usually when I'm here, this path leads down to a beach up here you can swim on. That doesn't look possible today, and you can start to see why.
Yeah, here we are from above. You want to catch this one? Let's catch this
All right, bro, follow me.
So now, I will quickly show that we can halfway produce. As we come back over
This should give us a good enough vantage point of the waterfall.
Well, we let everybody see the waterfall first. I felt somebody saying,
Shit, except for the trees.
yeah,
in
of
the way.
course. Look, Sarah, I'll pull you up here in a second, Sarah, and let Logan see that. But let's let everybody see the waterfall, and then I got a video
Yeah, we won't be getting wet
we're gonna
in
jump
that
to,
today.
where Logan's cutting up some. Wasn't the fall gorgeous that day? It was just raging.
We're going back out. We'll head over to Little River.
Okay, and then here I've even got a closer shot, and then we're gonna look at Sarah there.
So the beach is usually down there. Can you see it, man?
There's Logan,
Water's way
the
up.
brave adventurer.
All right. We're gonna climb out.
Sarah knows this bit. She cut this bit into my interview with her. Anyway, look here at what Sarah's got for you. So everybody saw the waterfall.
Our
Remember
fellow
the
cave
cave,
lovers.
man? You're in the cave.
Yeah.
Cave. Logan likes the cave. We'll look at the cave.
You got running water back there in this thing there, man?
Look here at what Sarah says. All right, look. Sarah says, Logan has got to feel it out a little before he'll open up. I bet money on it. He's secretly a hoot. Exactly. All right, now back to play, right? And keep everything rolling for the folks
So you
at
got
home.
facilities, huh?
I mean, it's pouring kind of, but it's flowing.
So ceiling's not too low. Oh, and look, it continues too, doesn't it? That's where the water's coming
This is a
from.
badass cave.
I forgot where I
Okay, it's a little soggy back here, sir.
Yeah, but it could be managed
Yeah, me too.
with a towel.
Yeah, keep going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's climb up under that.
I'll pull out a flashlight.
Yeah, maybe. Not today.
This was just a day
Not
trip, so
today.
we weren't prepared for spelunking, but it was possible to climb up under there.
Yeah, if
and
you got
keep
one.
Seeing what there was.
I just wanted to show the cave lovers our structure here. Man, you're flooding on the floor as well.
Okay, and now
I do
a
like the
video
furniture,
that
though.
I did not use in any antediluvian Alabama episode. So now we're done here, right? So we can click stop sharing, and then what we can do is you can just close that sucker out. And then so they're not looking at the painting, we can at least bring ourselves back, make you nervous halfway again for a second. Like, oh no, I'm big again. And I'm going to pull up another video here soon, though. All right, guys, so let's jump over to Rumble. Rumble has a bunch of old stuff, right? Some of it you've seen if you've been following me on YouTube and X, and some of it you haven't. And I don't think I used either of these two clips in anything. So let's take a look, Logan, because this was the first time I took you up there. Remember when you found those two little metal plates like that? Yeah, we can look at that as well. Oh, and there's even commentary from that day of us in the car. Look. Oh, no, wait a minute. That was Charlotte recording the next day. Either way, we got enough to look at, right? So let's see what you remember about this day, because I think now we got to share, right, with everybody. So now that we know this was the day you and I were up there rocking and rolling, yeah? All right. How do we get that back? Okay, cool. So now we've just got two tabs to deal with. All right, so share screen. Let's go over to Rumble. Now, can I max maximize so that everybody gets everything? I don't know.
If you can follow simple
I don't want
steps,
an ad.
you can follow this and get paid. This isn't some
What I'm going to go showcase you.
Okay, so I think you're over there on the rock ledge.
The other side of this is this round pallet. You'll see. But from over here, we can already see divisions in the block. One,
I know. That's something like
two.
See, you got
And then we'll head over here. The edge of this third piece
Yeah.
is the piece I want to show you. But from here, you can get a solid idea of what it looks like above it. Look at all the mounting.
Sound was awful that day. But there's a spot where I walk over to Logan and he cuts up a little bit, is what I'm thinking. If I'm remembering
Layering the
properly.
rock. Here, look at this.
Yeah. Now you remember this trip, the first time we ran up there? So that's the circular metal deposit down there on that giant triangular hunk of rock. Look, I mean, guys, you can really, you know, I mean, while we were watching this, since this video really isn't anywhere else, again, because it's, you know, I wasn't producing content in those days so much, right? I was trying to document much of this, and I just wasn't thinking, you know, layout, right? And so I wasn't filming things. I was just more about, you know, just showing and then flipping on myself. So most of them are not oriented in landscape. They're like that, mobile. So that's one reason a lot of these didn't get used. So if you want stuff like that, you know, Rumble is the place in those early days before I was really trying to put content together. You got a lot of this stuff.
All right, we're going to climb down.
This piece
We're gonna-
here. Okay, so the picture, you know, you've all seen me doing that. By the way, Logan took that picture, you know. Okay, so that's right in here. And now you see this giant triangular hunk of rock, and right there where the shadow is cast, there's a split, and then there's another triangular, you know, with the same exact angle on it, hunk of rock, where it seems these had fallen off the ledge that he and I were on. What is Trumpet Bonanza Bunzel? No, thank you. How did that happen? We're advertising, man, and we're not seeing anything from it. Isn't that just brilliant? I love how that works. Okay, so
All right, we're going to climb down now, and you can get a look at this. You can see the rusty protrusion beginning
There it is.
from up here.
down
I'll show
there.
you down at the angle. But look at the blocks,
You
Logan.
can really see that pile of rock.
Don't make it fall.
Don't make me think of that.
Don't make it fall.
Look, now you got me scared.
Man, look at the blocks. Look at the pieces over there.
Say something
Now
else
those
you remember.
blocks are the size of half a car. Look how smooth and megalithic that break is through there.
This is a really good shot.
And it tumbles away into much larger pieces.
So while
Look at the way this stuff's
let me mute it. Let me pause it. We're on a good video for the folks that are interested in the documentation of all this. No, it's not what I wanted to happen. So just to point out to you, I've showed many times from on the ground the landscape right around that circular metal. Call it what you will, right? Here, from above, and in winter, with all the leaves gone, you get an excellent sort of showcase of what I mean by this piling of very large stones. Let's back up to there. Yeah. All right. Now, when I pan back and I move to the left, you see, you've seen from on the ground that pile right there, but from above, you just see how it continues, right? You see that jumble and tumble of rectangular blocks. Keep going over there to Logan. You're doing great, man. You're doing great. Look at look at that, and that pile below our feet. All shapes. Look at that little nub-like feature on that one, you know, sticking up right there. See, guys, do you understand now how I get along so famously with John Ward looking at his Mars stuff, right? Because it's like you're looking at this stuff, right? Anyway, Sarah knows what I'm talking about. She's on our Mars Disclosure Live panel. This little nub here and how square this chunk is sitting here on top of this much larger flat piece. You know, that's not the ground. Look, that's just a much larger hunk, right? With all these other hunks on it. That's a good view of it. It's like a disaster in stone. Look at all the way out, how big. Look at these big pieces. So when I found the second circular metal deposit, it's not this piece right here, right? But it's about sort of that, you know, it's just like that. It's like a little hunk way off in the woods, but back over, you know, to your right. And this just scatters all the way down to the water. You're doing fine on time. You remember how to check? Do you remember how to check time?
This stuff's divided up, man.
So watch this.
It'll fall.
Look, right there. Okay. Okay.
Look up there.
Oh, with a phone in my hand, you retard. What do I want me to do? Hold on to that tree so I don't fall?
It's
like
really
I'm 5
high
feet
up,
above
y'all.
the ground and not 50?
Yeah, it's a good 50 feet, and you're just on that overhang.
It's okay.
Back to safety.
It's okay.
Fuck you. It's okay. You get out there with nothing and
I just did.
camera in your hand, 50 feet above some antediluvian ruins. All right, we're going to shimmy to the bottom safely.
See, there you are cutting up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, watch this, y'all. All right, I'm
Friends,
gonna
the most
hang on.
important
Stop
words that
sharing. Stop sharing, and then stop that, and then get back to these guys. Okay. See, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you that I press stop, and then you and I we'll sit here and tell a story. All right, I promise. Look, Christine, that's how I keep telling you guys. Doc, sorry, I keep doxing the name out there. Miss CMS, she's been following for a while, you know. Yeah. I know you remember that video. I remember it well. Logan remembers it. There's a couple more right around it if you want to look at. Do you want to look at one more since it's not in any of my antediluvian stuff, which, you know, I've tried to show everyone at this point. Let's do that. Let's close this. And let's bring this back into a manageable size, yeah? And then we should just be able to go back one. Look at that. And then, yeah, look at this stone. This is a weird one, dude. This is, you remember this one? It was on the ground on top of the cliff?
Yeah.
Okay. So check this one out, guys. Just a strange rock. All right, now we got to come back. All right, see, once we get here and let's wait and share after the ad because they can't hear this yet. Yeah, nor see it.
Okay, I see.
Now we can skip. Perfect. Okay, and now we want to bring it out here so they don't have to see any of those little fake ads either. And then we come back over here, and then boom, we just go back to our, and share one more time. And we finish out with Strange Stones at DeSoto State Park. Okay.
I would be informed from this fallen pine right here.
Think we could climb down
Look,
it?
and look at all the little blocks, man. Look at this. Yeah, we can climb down it without a phone in my hand. All right, this is as far as I'm going to go, man. Look, there's a couple of little divot holes. It's getting slippery. And this stuff, you find this all down in those rivers, but the holes are much larger. Not saying what they are, just commenting on what I see.
We had a bit. We had a bit ready. He totally forgot it.
To the bottom.
All right, let's show him the weird rock. You and I were flirting around. You didn't even see the weird rock, did you? Because I was trying to get you to loosen up.
The volatile sights
Drug use and violence still gripping.
and sounds of MacArthur
Now, you
Park.
gotta remember at this point, look up here to the left.
We're just
Okay,
walking down
you
the
gotta hop back over
sidewalk
here.
can spark tension.
And that's the only way you can get control of that. And then you also have to make sure you've got it back in minimize, right? And then you go back to stop sharing. Do you want to look at any other videos? Or would you rather... You want to look at Hatchet Creek? Or do you want to look at the ones where you and I talk? That? Okay. So for that, we're going to stay right here. And we're going to go... what are we on? One Rumble? Well, I need to go to my home. And let's just go back one. Yeah? Okay, here. All right. So the metal plates, those are so cool. I don't know. Did I put this in any video? It says it's a short.
Okay, so let's look at what Logan just found.
Yeah, check this out.
Let me get the metal.
Yeah, there's a whole
Yeah,
thing of metal right here.
yeah, bro. Look at the sheeting there. Here, can
See,
you
Logan's out there finding stuff.
get me up here with you?
I can hop down that side if you want to come up.
No, it's cool. Let me just stay where you are.
Yeah.
Look, and look, more sign of metal here. Charred. Splatters there. And then what to Logan's point, shard. You're good, bro. Sure he's dead.
In the
Look at this. 2 sheets
There's
of
nothing
metal.
an energy, a high force of some sort. Do you agree, having been in the landscape?
Yes.
It's a bunch of shattered stuff and melted stuff.
Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that one, man. That's the back angle from. Okay, this is the back side, everybody, of where the circular metal deposit is, right? So it tapers down. You had to remember the big triangular chunk up at the front, and then it sort of goes down, and there's another triangular chunk, and then down, down, down until you get to this size right here, right? And then you can walk around, and there's that third circular metal deposit here. But look, everywhere it's chunks, shards, pieces, melted metal. Now where's the valence?
How did he came through here? Did something to this fucked up looking rock. Look, all the little quartz rocks.
All the quartz, remember those everywhere, right? Quartz rocks. just
People tell me like the Mexican cartels are doing.
So pause, and we can keep working our way to the ones where you and I talk, which are going to be back here. Oh, there's Sway back. Remember when we went and found the wood with the cuts in it, right? Okay, and then keep going. And somewhere there's going to be the one where you and I went to Hatchet Creek and we chatted for a bit. Oh, that's just a picture of you and I, but I don't think... Yeah, that's you and I talking about parenting. I think. No?
Yeah.
You don't want to risk it? You don't know what we said? So the other ones are going to be you and I by the creek. Hatchet Creek. Not close up. Soul Flight was me talking about the meditation afterwards. Hatchet Creek arrival, that's you and I arriving. Okay, Fireside Chat. So that's you and I there. Do you want to take a look at the first or second one and see if you say anything that sparks a point you want to speak on or anything? Okay. So I guess we were looking at your journal here. This is one of Logan's
Medical
drawings.
freedom starts with
oh
access.
no, we're showing them the
Most
ads.
pharmacies decide for you,
No,
not with you.
I don't
All
want
family
drugs.
pharmacies.
One of
Thank
his
you.
shamanic journeys.
It's like a feeling that put itself in
So that's my impression. That's my
Let's start right here where you
that's
pull
my
out the drawing.
impression is that Logan was saying when he drew this,
but what we do is I'm gonna do that, and then we gotta always come back over here and just make sure. Yeah, setup's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, look, you can see that ad. Oh. Oh well, that's still pretty rough. I like that though. That's better, huh? With both of us here, we need to make that small. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Rocking. All right. Let's see what you said here. Oh, we gotta go back. Yep.
This, he was saying he wasn't sure. You know, this is a representation of what he saw on one of his shamanic journeys.
It's like a feeling that put itself in almost an image that I visually saw within what I call the shamanic. What's the word?
Realm.
Yeah, shamanic realm. Yeah, it's been a minute since I had a conversation about this. Yeah.
The real place.
What I would call the shamanic realm, it
Right.
was a vision that was showed to me by the fellow shamans from previous times. Those previous times being in the past, present, and future, because in this place there is no time. Time is non-existent, although time is in the past, present, and future all at once.
To all those that are here, have ever been here, or ever will be here, thank you for sharing the space.
That beard, man. Look how wild it looked.
So again, the meanders. Logan was saying this, and he said, "Man, I don't know if this is some kind of language, you know, if these are symbols." And so I pull out this, and I'm like, "Logan, you know, don't you see something here?" Again, this is really the meanders. I see. It's sort of this, but translucent. I mean, you know, and they're varied. I mean, it's like an individual. You know, they could be this big, that big, just that. You know, they're right.
Meanders.
Okay, so that's
So-
what they are. Is they're these light bodies.
You see those? You see those things I just showed? You know, the translucent. Yeah. So they're called meanders. I noticed this strange thing about them, man. Oh, that's a terrible place to pause it. What
Individuals manifesting themselves to you upon your senses, so that you can indeed see them and know they're here.
So, and after this,
I just had an idea. So what if each
okay, so on your idea, meanders. So I see them too, right? And it's on your book. It's better than on my weird beard. All right. Now, here's something I've learned over the years, right? Is that they also have a tie to the physical location, okay? So if, without giving them a name or a definition, we're talking about the translucent little tubules that float, and when you try to focus on them, you know, they may move a little, okay? They're in native pottery at Moundville in Alabama, at the Moundville Archaeological Site. They found pottery. It's a known quantity, right? Okay, I went to Moundville, right, on my birthday several years ago, right? I forget which one, maybe 3 years ago. And I go to Moundville, man, and the meanders are fucking everywhere, right? Like usually, you know, I'm always able to clock one, you know, and the size and the shape and all that can vary, right? But I've learned that over environment, I learned it at Moundville, and I go to Moundville, and they're everywhere, right? Now, I still, at this point, I for no reason am I necessarily tying it to the place, right? But I am just realizing that I'm seeing a lot of them here, whatever I should read from this, right? I didn't quite know 100% what I should read from that, although Moundville is not only, they found the representation of these things on the pottery, right? But it was known as sort of a death center, might be the closest word to use, you know, a place where you would go to either pass over, be buried, you know what I mean? Like, we don't really quite have a modern equivalent, sort of, you know, you might say cemetery, but that's not quite right either. You know, it's a little more than that. It's like a complex that possibly got converted to some sort of, you know, sacred, like, crossover place, you know what I mean? Okay, so the meanders are everywhere, right? All right, I go and we leave, and when I get off the property, I was driving, so I'm paying attention. I'm like, yeah, they're still there. And when I get well off, you know, the property of Moundville and up on the main road and going, they're boom, just back to the usual, like 1 and 2. right? Like immediately. So right there with that, I just as my own, laboratory scientist out here dealing with my observations, I could clock that and go, no, that was definitely correlated to that location, right? And then that becomes something you can use when you're looking for things out in the wild, right? When I'm looking for a native spot, or when I'm wanting to confirm a spot I've already found, right? I can kind of clock it by that as well, right? People call that woo, but I just call it experience that's worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has worked.
Yeah, you've been there since before even I found Mobilla, man. I mean, you've watched me early on just figuring this stuff, figuring it out and running with it, and leaving you with a trace of it before I came back. See, there's a lot of stories we could tell too, but now I'm going to let this one keep rolling, right? Okay. And I'll check on chat while you listen.
Individual, like, so imagine this: every single marking on this piece of paper was made by hundreds of thousands of tiny little strokes.
Yeah.
That eventually made what you see.
Right.
Even the shading behind it. So imagine that, right?
As above, so below. Just as you did here on this with your charcoal pencil. Somebody did it in that vision that you saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine in every single one of these little markings, there's hundreds and thousands of little markings in those.
Now, I want you to hear this.
And now take that.
So, see, everybody has to wait with us. Welcome to live streaming, because I want you to hear it, but we need a nicotine pouch. Go on.
Yeah.
Cappuccino?
Sure.
These are Sesh. So they're at Walmart. When you buy 2 of any brand, you get one of these free, because apparently they're new, but they're also really expensive. They're like $7 a can. And I've seen the podcaster Sean Ryan. He's like associated with these. Every podcaster's getting themselves nicotine now. We should find a nicotine brand to endorse us. I want them to bring Note back. I would totally put some Note nicotine like just right across the top. Make everybody see your name. If I could get some pouches, I don't even need the money. Those were good pouches, man. They stopped like making them available in the U.S. I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a mess. Okay, here we go. Now I want to back this up, because I think this should spark a little something for us to talk about the next few minutes with folks.
And imagine there's like...
It's playing double speed too. How do I do that? I don't even know how to control that.
And now take that. And imagine there's like a path through every single one of them individually. So what if behind this one thing that is drawn out on this piece of paper, there could be an infinite number of questions or answers or reasons, or I don't know, something to think on.
This is like what I was saying about the shamanic site, man. I was telling him the story on here about when he was having me look at that rock, right? And it was just any old rock, but he zoomed me in on it, way in. And though what I was looking at did not change, I could see other things in it. I suddenly could see a map, right? And suddenly it looked like a 3D model in my hand, if I allowed it to be,
right?
Because I could zoom into that possibility, I think is what we're hitting on here.
That works. I
think so.
That kind of makes sense.
It's the God vision. It's that infinite sight, that infinite possibility, that no matter which line you go to, how far in or how far out, it all connects and reveals just more and more and more until you get back to source.
I mean, it all does. I mean, if you look at every specific line on here, like all this that stretches across the paper, even whatever you want to call that, it all connects with every other line.
100%.
I still remember this conversation this day. I bet you don't.
Every line connects with every line.
Even where there appears to be no line.
Kids.
Smudges. God just went, now they're connected. And just do a little, okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. It's all the same. Oh, look, Logan.
Yeah.
Now it's all connected.
So there was something there about connectivity, right?
Yeah. Amen.
Do you remember that drawing at least? Look at those ads. What is that? Do you? Yeah? Do you want to talk about what perhaps that drawing was? Just since you're here, man, like you're never here. And I said we're going to do this thing and we're going to go live and we're approaching our hour. It's not like I'm going to sit here all night waiting for your, you to just prove to the folks that you can talk. You guess it was a map.
Yeah, I guess it was a map.
A map of what?
I don't know how to answer that.
Try to. Doesn't even matter. Pretend it's just me and you, man, and just, or don't pretend. Just, what was that drawing, dude? Why did you draw it? Answer that question. Like, why did you for yourself draw it?
I guess I was trying to understand as to what it was.
Understand what?
As to what it was?
Something you had seen?
Kind of.
Okay.
I guess.
Something you had sensed?
Yeah, that could be a way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember at all what you were sensing when you were doing that sketch? Or why you were sketching it out for yourself?
I don't know. In this current moment.
That's the only answer whenever we have videos on is I don't know in this current moment. How's work?
It's work.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, what do you like about it?
Being able to cook and feed people.
Okay. What's cool to you about feeding people?
I mean, I don't know how to answer that one.
Okay.
I mean, whenever I worked at Waffle House, I would see regular customers. So after so many weeks of the same customer coming in on my shift, and you're always the person making their food, and hopefully they prefer you cook their food, so they continue coming in.
Okay.
And every now and then you have a customer here and there that you actually have a conversation with, and every now and then you enjoy to continue doing so. You meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah. In a Waffle House, I know you do.
Yeah.
Do you have any good Waffle House stories? You worked for a while in Waffle. You just got so much street cred, man, for having already. This is like your second job or your first job?
That's it?
The Waffle House.
Oh, Waffle House was third, I guess.
Okay, but it was you were cooking, right?
Yes.
Right. Look at him. See, you just got so much cred. You know, Sarah's like, you'd send him my way. Okay, so Waffle House stories. You know, you got any like crazy, like I don't know, somebody flipped out and crazy individual.
While I was working there was one night that I had third shift, and it was a 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. I had started doing those regularly.
Yeah.
And there was one night. There was one night that one of my coworkers, he was out back throwing out the
Hold that too.
he was out back throwing out the trash, and next thing you know, he came running in the back door.
Okay.
I was cleaning the grill, and he started immediately slamming the door, and then he locked it, and then he ran into the kitchen in front of 2 other customers, and kind of like nonchalantly, halfway, not knowing what to do, ready to fight, whispered very loudly that there was a guy at the back door who had rushed him, and he may or may not have seen a knife.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He may or may not. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't 2 minutes later that we had like 7 cops walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just cooking. I just kept cooking. It was like it was all of 20 minutes, and it was over, and it was just like, keep cooking, just keep going.
So what we know for sure is that Logan can cook in a wartime environment. Should things turn nasty in the future, Logan can still provide bacon, eggs, hash browns, scattered, smothered, and covered for everyone in attendance.
Yeah.
Sarah, I bet the Universe Unveiled never thought perhaps that they knew they had breakfast as an offer for why to come get involved with us, because we've got somebody that can cook breakfast during apocalyptic times.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no coincidences, Logan.
Good.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ricardo, my buddy, fellow podcaster from The Shaman and The Philosopher, he says his way of saying it is coincidence takes planning. Which you would understand, because that would be like, the shamanic realm, right? The shamans of past, present, and future, in your words, right? Are assisting.
What do you mean assisting?
I don't know. What do you mean assisting? So there is the belief then, Logan, that the non-material, right, what we might call spiritual, can have affect outcomes of material. Can have people pray, right, for a reason, right? People believe you think positive for a reason, right? People who are Christian believe, God has angels prepared to interdict if needed on his behalf, and all this, on and on and on, right? You might say that the shamans, right, of past, present, and future, in some way, even if it's just by passing on information, right, they are in some way exerting assistance, and contributing towards an outcome that would not have come if they hadn't have imparted information to you, you see? So in a myriad of ways, many beliefs go so far as to say that the physical is merely a echo or like a shadow of the spiritual, or sort of more of a, an outgrowth of it, right? So that in fact, what you and I call spiritual, we use that word. That word means for all the fucking things that our limited senses don't let us see, right? I mean, cat sees more light than you or I. So technically, the cat knows more about reality than you and I do, because it sees more bandwidth of light, right? So it perceives more of reality than you or I can, right? Yeah, okay. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Okay, so we use this term spiritual for things that are senses, at least according to the narrative we've been handed, right? That our senses, look, see, Sarah's right here. Always down for hash brown. We've been told, and we've had a world try to dumb down our senses intentionally, right? To all of these things, which you are familiar with, right? These, call them spiritual, right? But these very real, would you say real?
Yeah.
Aspects of reality.
Yeah.
Okay. So it then follows and makes sense that these aspects of reality would be able to have an effect upon reality.
In certain ways, I guess.
What do you mean by
Yeah. What exactly are you asking?
I'm not. What do you mean by certain ways? You asked me a question, bro. I gave you an answer. I thought it was a pretty good one. And now you're going in what ways? Not necessarily. So now it's your turn to stand up. And didn't you ever take debating? Okay, so you're going to say not necessarily, right? Then that means you have to go and explain to me, what do you mean by not necessarily?
I want explaining.
Why do you say that? Do you not agree?
With what part?
That the thing I just guided you into saying, right, that what we call spiritual is in fact a place, a part of reality, right? That we as these human beings and these machines we occupy are not 100% equipped to detect all of it, right? I say by design, right? Now, you and I, though, do know that, in fact, we are equipped, right? And many of our audience knows. Sarah, Tammy, all you, Christine, I'm sure everybody here knows. We are, in fact, equipped to be aware of these realities, right? To contact consciously, to all of these things, right? You are aware of that being a reality.
Yes.
Okay. So, now, just because let's do it this way. How are you aware of these realities? Can you at all put words to that? You know what I mean? Like from your perspective, not trying to talk to folks at home, right? But how have you in any way experienced it for you to understand that it's there?
I guess after I don't know how to explain it. I guess
It's okay. You're doing good, man. He grabbed the mic for a while, didn't he? And you kept rocking and rolling. Here, take it and explain. See what you got. Look, I start with why not necessarily you think things we call spiritual could have an effect on material, or if you do. Retort, sir, to you. Do you hear me just scooch on the chair?
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like Florida, didn't it? But it does show. Look how these shorts are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little sweaty. Do you think they're bored? Should we show them how short the short? No, we shouldn't.
Maybe not. I mean, I guess if you want to.
I know. Well, we got you laughing.
Yeah.
Okay. We're at our hour.
That we are.
But we can keep talking because you're finally talking. It doesn't matter. It's my show, man. We don't care if anybody's watching. They're never watching anyway, except for our little family unit over here. We got Sarah and usually Jackie. We got Tammy and we got Miss CMS. That's it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably have already tuned us out. You got anything you wanna yak on for a minute before we start wrapping it up?
I don't know.
What do you think folks should be focused on in their lives right now? You got any advice for folks? Because I'll probably never get you sitting down here again. So you might as well go ahead and, if you want to tell the world anything, now would be the time.
I guess create family.
What does that mean?
Like you and I aren't blood, but
Right.
we're family, you know.
Right.
Create more family.
You've got other people around you too.
Yeah.
You considering that you've,
Yeah.
created, found, that you're not blood related with.
Exactly.
Okay. Why is that important to you? Why should it be important? What is it? What does it allow for? What do you see happening one day with like your friend groups? What would you like to see happen?
Eventually, us all combine everything we have and pass it on to our children or grandchildren as a group.
Like a community,
Yes, kind of, yeah.
kind of, but like a very tight, close-knit community.
Yeah.
Functions very well together,
Yeah.
right? Would there just be one of these little communities? Like you against the world and your little tiny one little?
I mean, no, it wouldn't just be one. Ideally, there would be multiple or several small communities that could then create a bigger communities, which then combine those and you get larger communities.
Sure.
Think of it like that. Yeah.
Why is that so important to you right now? Meaning, what is it that would be so beneficial about that to the world right now? As a, let's remind folks how old you are, Logan. How old are you?
20.
Yeah. So, what to you would be so beneficial if that were to, if your idea for this family, right, this community, to somehow be, I don't know, if nothing else, a blueprint, right, or just one cell of many cells, right, of each of their own accord being very, close knit and able to, as you would call it, call each other family nearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would benefit the world right now as you see it if folks were to start sort of prioritizing that, kind of like you do,
Well, I guess it could be beneficial in a lot of different ways. I mean,
All right, so what do you picture when you picture your little community, right? In your imagination now, when you're just letting yourself roam to what you'd like to see that ideally be, right? What does it look like? How does it function, right? Where do the things come from? Where does the food come from? How does everybody get along, right? Like, what does it sort of look like to you? Have you imagined that much? Any of that?
kind of.
Tell me about it.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I've been more focused on how to kick it off because I know that the people I've brought with me thus far I don't know how to finish that sentence.
Yeah, you do. You stopped yourself.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I just. I. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you lost it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, well, that happens to me all the time, dude. Like literally, they'll tell you all the time, man.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Because you'll be sitting here and you'll just, first of all, you'll remember there's people there because you just, we're off and running in your own little world, which is the way to do it. It's just you and I. Look, that's why I've got the fire, right? That's why they'll tell you I've always got the candle lit, right? It's usually down there because that reminds me to be like when I'm by the fire,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So it's like by the fire. And that's why I bring in all the stuff, man, all the rocks and everything and all the driftwood from the creeks. So it's just like, like you're there and you can quit worrying about all that,
When I was reading comments.
Back of my chair sucks. Yours is better. Oh, this is
Why is
okay,
this
Ryan.
recording?
Look, man. Sorry, I'm doxing everybody tonight because Logan's here. Look, Tree Buddy, write it out and read it next time, okay? So, what, next weekend or next Tuesday, whenever your next off day is and you come over, right, have written out something that you'd like to say or talk about. Look, these people, the only people in here, dude, know you. You for the first Discord, you remember Tree Buddy, Christine, and he says, and hello.
Hi.
He's doing good though. He's getting on the rolls, and it's getting me interview practice. So all things work to the betterment. What's up, dude? How's the family? Thank you very much for dropping in. Or draw a picture and show it. Bring it to show. Oh, he likes that idea. He likes that idea a lot. Okay, so we were on community, right? Okay. Now, you have seemingly of your own accord, not from any prodding from me, been driven by this. It's like part of his hardware. It seems, right? So, I'm curious. We can rearrange if we need to get more comfortable. I'm curious what you think about that. Why do you think that is? Why are there others around you? Do your friends that are in this? I went and met several of them last week, right? Do you talk about this? Do you, I don't know, your idea of possibly all having something like where you all live together on land one day, or, yeah.
There's a specific medium to large group that knows.
Right.
Yeah.
And it didn't just get any larger.
And I mean, it's gotten that. I don't know.
Okay. How one of the things I've gotten from your drive for this is it seems to me that you think there's value in having a system set up outside of the systems that currently are set up and most everyone uses. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, right? Like you wouldn't be sending there wouldn't be a public school ideally in your dream community, You wouldn't be heading over to Wetumpka High, right? You wouldn't be going to Walmart for your groceries,
Fair. I feel like it would be fair to have something like a school, but to learn things that are more realistic, like you don't need to know what 10 million divided by -32 is. I mean, you need to know how to cook and survive. Most normal schools don't teach how to cook. You have to take a very special class or go to a completely different school that costs money. No, they just want you to think about numbers and shapes and colors all day just to fill their pockets. So have a slightly normal school that teaches realistic things.
So Tree Buddy's wife, she's at a school that's very non-traditional, and they've got a big family, man, and they're all very they understand kind of what you're saying about the traditional education, and again, 20, right, fresh out of it here. The traditional education system is not set up to educate you and prepare you for reality. You guys don't know how happy I was when Logan told me he got hired at Waffle House, right? Not because I wanted him to have to work those long shifts for a long time or whatever, but because
it was good shifts though. Like I enjoyed every minute of cooking.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've worked in restaurants too, and I love it. And I learned what you learn from it and the skills of not only providing for yourself, but in a place like Waffle House, man, you're learning how to provide for many, right? Which is a skill that would come in exceptionally handy in this idea of community we're talking about, right?
I mean, there was one moment for there was one moment for about 20 minutes there where I absolutely hated working there.
Why so?
Because nobody's fault. It just, stuff happens sometimes.
Shit does happen.
Yeah. I was cooking me some eggs. This dude wanted an omelet.
Yeah.
And I was cooking the omelet. I used the whisker thing, got the air bubbles in it, poured it in once the oil got hot, and immediately, since you basically have to boil it
Right.
in the oil,
Right.
it's weird how to explain it. It popped everywhere.
Right.
And I had oil hit me directly in the eye from under the glasses.
Ouch.
Yeah. My eye had a lot of oil in it, and that just doesn't wash out.
Was it a big globule? It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, yeah.
No, it just hit me straight in the corner of the eye.
Yeah,
Just
it doesn't.
no, I couldn't see clearly out of my left eye for like 4 hours.
Yeah, I've done that too, and it scares you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You wonder if it's gonna come back.
Yeah. And that was the only time where I actually hated it for
Yeah.
about those 4 hours. But then I went to work the next day, and I was chilling. I was enjoying cooking my bacon.
Like a real man.
Yeah, and cooking eggs and getting popped more. I've currently got a lot of grease burns from my current job.
Everybody at home now is like, well, that's why you see the meanders, the grease in the eye. You did great, man. Thanks for telling us a work story. What's that? Oh, yeah, today at Piggly Wiggly. You see, you can use, that's the camera. Yeah. He's so they've got him in the kitchen at the Piggly Wiggly. Oh, yeah. So, Randall, here, look, let's talk here. So, Tammy, thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, Sarah said about schools. Look here. Teach them everything about nothing.
That's just pretty much what happens in normal public schools nowadays.
Yeah, Sarah, you want to look at a preview? She's got a show coming up. Sarah's got a daughter with autism, Tony, and so Sarah's no fan of the education system and understands it at a pretty, realistic level as well.
Yeah.
Now to carry on, come on, we'll come back to the chat before we wrap everything up. So Randall, Tammy here. Yeah, I forgot. I've shared that that video actually. He put a nice little 20-minute video out. If anyone wants to go check that out, I was going to see if I have the link anywhere. We could look at it. But Randall's friends with Graham. Okay, so Logan's big into Graham mainly because of where is it? I know I've got a copy here somewhere. Because of his book on, remember the cave painting, Supernatural, right? Yeah, I know. And then we read deck. Oh, here we go. Right. That was your old copy that you left here, right? Supernatural, Graham. Okay, well, Randall has done a lot of work with Graham, right? I've sent you some of his videos. Anyway, he lives over in Georgia, and he's putting together. He's attempting to do this, just what we're talking about, really. Build an everything community, but focus it also with the school, not just a children's school, right? But a school sort of for humanity on many real subjects. He's like actively sort of beginning the process of looking for land now. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tammy, for bringing that up. Sarah, Waffle House. I worked at Waffle House for 3 days once and then never went back but kept the shirt to pretend I worked there for 3 months so my dad thought I had a job.
Yeah, I still have 4 of the shirts, and they're just in the room chilling on the wall. Against the wall.
I want one. I didn't know you got a Waffle House shirt. I want a Waffle House shirt.
Really? Yeah. I just have extra.
Yeah, I want a Waffle House shirt. Who doesn't want a Waffle House shirt? Oh, I want some merch, man. I didn't know we had Waffle House merch. I definitely want some. Camp Hill. So Camp Hill is an example of. We could always look some of these up. Look, if you go, I bet. Oh, don't close that. No, we don't have to. We're at an hour 20. Yeah, so we'll probably wrap it up. Unless you want to look at more videos or talk about anything specific. Do you want to bitch about school or talk about work?
I don't know. I'll have to be rolling.
You got to roll. He's got to roll soon. Okay, so it always smelled like Waffle House, no matter how many times you wash it. I bet. Okay, everybody, we're gonna start the wind down here. Then I need to get some outro music. Is what I need to do. That's what all the podcasters do, man. Is they use outro music.
But you're trying to be different.
I am, but I kind of come across that. I come by that naturally, don't you think? Yeah. So do you, by the way.
How so?
When you called me weird just now, I didn't ask you how so. Okay, how so? How so do I not have to work at being different? Come on, this is your chance to even embarrass me. How so? How do I not have to work at being different? It's just me and you.
I don't know how to answer that. My brain thought, but had no.
Yeah, I do that all the time, but then I just say it.
Say what?
Exactly. Whatever, just, it's how you let it. It's called stream of consciousness. It's like a thing you can do on podcasting when you're by yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, you can just like let it flow, man.
Yeah.
You're laughing. You're relaxed. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to call this episode 14. We're going to look over here at the chat, and we're going to give a very genuine thank you to Tammy, to Sarah, to Miss CMS. Glad to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit. I know life is wild and crazy. What I mean is just glad to know you're still all as well with you. And we've got Brian. Look at me again, trying to just use everybody's screen names. You know what I mean? Because they may not want everybody to know. Tree Buddy. Shaman is awake. What, man? I'm awake and know what to do about what? Oh, look, Jacqueline. Hey, Jake Wills. Pro at the stream of consciousness stuff. I try, right? I'm trying to get better at it. The thing I run into is the same thing Logan sort of that sputters him at the beginning is I will sort of just, I've got a screen set up where I can't see anything, anything that walks by. That helps. And when I've got the earphones in, I can't hear anything. But then I've also got the whole idea of chat going on. And then sometimes your thought gets pulled away because you remember, hey, folks are watching. And you'll kind of blank at that moment if you're doing stream of consciousness, and you have to get good at sort of going back, and remembering, right? But thank you, Jacqueline. What's up? How are you? All right. Sarah says she's looking forward to seeing you next time.
Okay.
Great job.
Thanks.
Hey, let's take a look. You guys here, we will do this. Watch. For the last 5 minutes, you all make sure to go check out Sarah and Jacqueline tomorrow. What time is it? 6 Central tomorrow? They've got this coming out. Where do I find you at? Let's just go to X. If you need to get up, you can, man. I'm just going to show people this real quick because Sarah and Jacqueline are so wonderful, and they've got an interview coming out. Tomorrow, let's see, do they pin it? No, it's right. Oh, look, see, and they shared us. We should have turned that light out. Turn that light out. Watch the difference it makes. It's good in the day to fight this backlight, right? But once it goes down. So here's their preview for tomorrow. Let's share this with the crowd before we split. Okay. So Universe Unveiled, YouTube, X, Rumble as well. All the places you're watching me, Facebook, they're in all of them. And what I'm going to share with you right now before I say goodnight is an interview they have coming up tomorrow. See, but then you gotta do that one too, right? It changes the ambiance a little bit. Okay, now we're going to share, and let's get our friends preview up here. Put your headphones in. Let's get our layout right. And let's play the preview. Universe Unveiled tomorrow at, did she get me in the time? I think 6 Central. Okay, and let's get back over to X, which is down here. Press play.
Who's now an adult. My son his name is Lyric. He's 18 years old now. Can you say you're accepting of autism if you've never seen the shadow side that comes along with it? Because society doesn't like to talk about that, because we want to perpetuate this superpower narrative, because that makes us feel good. It makes us, helps us cope with the mystery of why is this happening to so many children. So I try to speak up on behalf of those that, number one, don't have the capacity to let their voice be heard, because they're in the trenches. They're dealing with self-injurious behavior, with kids banging their heads through walls, with not being able to let their eyes off their children for even 1 second for fear they may harm themselves or someone else. You know what? That's also autism.
Right.
Let's talk about both, shall we? Don't just give me the beautiful stuff. Let's talk about the shadow side as well. So we moved down to Tasmania because my son loves nature up until 12 months, when he had his MMR, pneumococcal, and varicella vaccines all on the same day. That's when he stopped progressing. It wasn't a car crash in the sense that the lights went out straight away and he very clearly has a vaccine injury, but that's the time frame that aligns with when our son stopped progressing. So people love to say, it's amazing how everyone on the planet knows this phrase: correlation is not causation. You know what that is? That's really clever marketing.
I'm also the parent of a child with profound autism, the same that Tyler's son has. She has apraxia. She's level 3, severe, profound autism, as they call it. Not Elon Muskism, not a touch autism, as they say. We're talking the trajectory of our lives is completely different than what it would be if she were not autistic. And absolutely, because by taking away their autism, you take away their struggles.
I do believe the diagnosis is broken. I think they fucking broke it, and they're going to have to fix it, because it doesn't mean anything anymore. And I think autism will become the A word. I think it will go the way of the R word.
Yeah.
Number one is to stop denying that it's happening. The entire system is captured by profit-driven industry.
You know, I have a real problem with the idea that persons like both of you guys, who, like, in every other instance, it's the parent knows the child best, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's, you know, when it's convenient, then that's the case. But in a situation like this, where you're looking at your medical team or your doctor or your nurse, whatever, and saying, like, there's something wrong with my baby. And this is what I saw, and this is what we experienced, and this is how it differs from before or after. You know, you're giving your...
No, you didn't.
Right, which is just, I come from a medical background. I was a nurse. 60% of what I do and decide and how I'm going to approach an intervention has to do with what the patient is telling me.
The point of my advocacy is that we can make the world a better place so that future generations don't have to have these struggles. And we do that through education. We do that through learning. And I think that's a great posture to have, to just listen about what our experience has been like. Thank you for listening.
Hey, quiet, please. Part 1.
Perfect way to end the episode, I would say. What'd you think about that, man? Let me end it for these guys, and then let's get us up here to say goodnight. And looks like it'd be a pretty interesting interview, huh? Yeah. I like the the pointing out of the sort of cultural meme now that has become, everybody's on the spectrum, right? And so you have like a Elon Musk, and everybody goes, "Oh, he's autistic. He's autistic," and is he? Or is he just taking a whole bunch of ketamine? I don't, but it's certainly not. It goes back to words. We even hit here about when you use the word spiritual, and what do people understand when you use a certain word, right? And that word autism, has become in the culture sort of meaning one thing, right? But the reality of the real end of that word, that diagnosis, is something far different, than what the culture. I mean, it's kind of hip. Like people like to kind of celebrate, like, oh, I'm just autistic. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole bunch of memes about, autistic, whatever setups. This is me in my autism office. You know what I mean? It's like a meme basically in the culture now, and it's very far from the realities like Sarah's and like it's Tyler, right? Elon has Asperger's. Should be two different. I've got a buddy with Asperger's, or at least that's the diagnosis he claims. And yeah, I could see that being Elon for sure. But my buddy's a little more severe, probably than Elon. But yeah, I mean, he can function just fine. But when it comes to social shit and stuff like that, like, whoa. But then also, quite the channel, quite the channel. So everything gets labeled and mislabeled. I think, just like what we call schizophrenic, in olden days, they would have, the shaman would have grabbed that person and guided them instead. Anyway, thanks for bringing up the topic, ladies, and we'll see you tomorrow night. I'll be there. I won't schedule anything. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Everybody, please go like and subscribe Universe Unveiled on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. And we're going to say goodnight to you, I guess, because Logan's got to roll. Yeah, and we want to thank you for sitting with us as we introduce Logan to the podcasting game. He's always asking me, what can I do to help, right? What can I do? And so, well, if you could learn how, then you could start helping. And I think you did a fabulous job, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
You had at least 3 moments in there where you completely quit worrying about what was going on.
Kind of.
Yeah, I think you did great. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to Finding Things, to my episode with my first in-studio guest. And I'll be back for episode 15. It will not be tomorrow night. We know that much because we're going to be hanging with the girls at Universe Unveiled. Go over there. Come hang out with us in the chat. In the meantime, hasta luego. That means later, right? You want to learn to speak German. What's goodbye in German? Anybody know goodbye in German?
You asked me, and
I used to know I love you in German, but I know Max niet.
Huh?
Max niet. It's like it doesn't matter. That's all I know.
I think
Why do you want to learn it?
just to know multiple languages. Be without a language barrier wherever I go.
And I take it you want to see Germany then? Or do you just like the music? What is it?
I like the music. I want to go and actually see Germany. And I don't know, I think it'd be cool to live in a
Mountain town.
kind of.
Bet you were German in a past life. You probably lived there.
Probably.
A lot of times when I've got to draw to a place like that, that's what I assign it to. Sort of an unnatural, just draw to a place. What you looking at? The candle looks better as it gets darker, doesn't it? It starts flickering in the skull there.
Did you ask what is good morning in German?
Guten something. Guten Tag. Guten morning. Guten.
Good morning.
Isn't beer just beer? Like beer, just spelled differently? I really don't know.
It's like BEIR, I think. I think. Yeah. I don't know.
Deja vu. I think I've had that conversation before.
Really?
I don't remember where.
If you have, or maybe you're.
They say when you get deja vu that you're supposed to do the thing that you were most likely not to do next, right? So like if you're playing a game, right, and you played it before and you always went right, okay, this time you would go left. Some people say you should read deja vu like that. You ever heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that before. For me, I guess it would depend on the situation.
Well, always. So I guess the thing to do now would be to press stop, because which version of us would just keep talking? Is that the always version? Do you think? Because you're really starting to loosen up, so I'm kind of like wanting to see if you'll just keep going. We're experimenting on you, everybody. We'll stop now. Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful, what's today? Tuesday. It's a crazy world out there. Please stay centered, stay with yourself, talk to God, tell the angels to do their fucking jobs, and see to your micro environment, and start thinking kind of like Logan about family and community. Yeah? Say good night, y'all.
Good night. Y'all.